We're witnessing what many would have thought of as unthinkable just weeks ago. The fall of one of crypto's titans, the FTX exchange, and by extension, its founder, Sam Bankman Fried. Thanks to Evergrande staff for sponsoring this video, more on them later. SBF rose to prominence in the past bull cycle, building himself up as a mighty businessman, a gifted trader all degens aspire to emulate, and also the voice of crypto in Washington, D.C. He came to the rescue of crypto earlier this year, bailing out failing businesses after the fallout of CeFi lender Celsius. But now it turns out the one needing a huge bailout is him. For a moment, it looked like Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange, would step in to save the day. But today, the exchange tweeted it won't go through with the deal. Binance said in a tweet that while it intended to support FTX and provide liquidity, the Bahamas-based exchange is facing issues that are beyond its control or ability to help. Binance tweeted that as a result of corporate due diligence, as well as the latest news reports regarding mishandled customer funds and alleged U.S. agency investigations, we have decided that we will not pursue the potential acquisition of FTX.com. The deal's collapse could put billions of dollars held by thousands of FTX customers at risk. The news has sent the crypto market into a tailspin. Ether has stumbled more than 20% in the past 24 hours and is trading at just above $1,100, while Bitcoin dropped over 25% to almost $15,000. Solana, which has close ties to FTX, has plunged over 60%. But those losses pale in comparison to FTT. That's FTX's native token, which has nosedived over 90% since last week. So what actually happened? A quick reminder that SBF leads FTX, a centralized crypto exchange, and Alameda Research, a hedge fund. FTX handles billions of dollars in trading volume each day. It's one of the world's largest exchanges. So the crisis began exactly 1 week ago, on Wednesday last week, when CoinDesk reported that 40% of Alameda's balance sheet, or more than $5 billion, actually came from FTX's own token, FTT. That included $2.2 billion earmarked as collateral for some of its $7.4 billion in loans. With FTT's circulating supply sitting at $3.3 billion that same day, Alameda's FTT holdings were far too large to liquidate without crashing the market. And that called into question the firm's ability to meet its debts. Concerns that Alameda and FTX may be insolvent triggered users to withdraw hundreds of millions of dollars from the exchange. According to data from Dune Analytics, FTX's reserves dropped by more than $1 billion in 7 days. Users withdrew $600 million in just the past 24 hours. Also, yesterday, Lucas Nuzzi, the head of research and development at Coinmetrics, tweeted that on-chain FTT flows suggest that FTX may have bailed out Alameda in September. He said, "Here's what I think happened. Alameda blew up in Q2 along with 3AC and others," he posted. It only survived because it was able to secure funding from FTX, using as collateral the $172 million FTT that it was guaranteed to vest 4 months later. So to summarize, SBF's crypto empire was in reality in large part backed by its own token, FTT. According to John Wu, Lucas Nuzzi, and Wasi Lawyer, the FTX exchange was lending out customer funds to Alameda, which in turn was trading those funds for profit and filling the shortfall by posting FTT as collateral back on FTX. This is less than ideal because an exchange token like FTT is highly volatile and relies on how much the market trusts it. If the market loses trust in the token, then the entire empire starts to collapse, which is exactly what's happening. Then it was Changpeng Zhao, the CEO of Binance, who further fueled the run on FTX's reserves when he said over the weekend that his exchange planned to sell an FTT position of potentially $500 million worth of the token. Zhao, known better as CC, was quick to highlight weaknesses in FTX's business model. 2 big lessons, he said. Never use a token you created as collateral. And 2, don't borrow if you run a crypto business. Have a large reserve. He also appeared to take a swipe at Bankman Fried for his role as a self-styled ambassador for crypto in Washington, D.C. He said, "We gave support before, but we won't pretend to make love after divorce. We're not against anyone, but we won't support people who lobby against other industry players behind their backs." So remember that last month, SBF led an effort to develop an industry norms manual and came under fire for appearing to support a bill that many feared would damage DeFi. So the question that emerges is, was SBF's bailout of crypto in the fallout of Celsius and him putting on a serious face for regulators all part of a show intended to prop up the FTT token, knowing that his entire empire depended on it? Before we get deeper into the story, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor. Aave's latest development, V3, was launched on 6 networks and introduces new features like isolation mode, efficiency mode, and portals. Explore the protocol at aave.com, and if you're building in the ecosystem, apply for a grant through aavegrants.org. So after CZ said his exchange Binance would sell a huge chunk of the FTT token, causing the price to drop further and pushing further withdrawals, CZ yesterday said Binance signed a non-binding letter of intent to fully acquire FTX and help it cover the liquidity crunch. Crypto had been on fire with speculation that the deal would not go through, and the market showed it with prices diving. And less than 48 hours after the bombshell news that Binance would bail out FTX, we hear back from Binance confirming investors' fears. The deal is not happening. The news just broke and the situation is still in development, so it's still unclear what the options are for SBF at this point. But what is clear is that he's in desperate need of funding. A Wall Street Journal report said FTX faces a liquidity shortfall of up to $8 billion. Damage brought on by this episode goes further than falling token prices and squabbling crypto billionaires. First is FTX users, who are worried about their balances. Next is institutions that lend out funds to FTX and Alameda. There's also the effect on the Solana ecosystem, one of the most prominent Layer 1 chains, with deep ties to the SBF empire. We have yet to see what the full fallout of this collapse will be, and we'll be covering each twist and turn, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't. There's a couple of lessons that we keep taking away from this year's massive fallout in crypto. One is that we definitely need a transparent, on-chain financial system that users can verify what the balance sheet and collateral of financial institutions is in real time. Another lesson is, let's stop building up these idols. From Dokon with Terra to Suzu with 3 Arrows Capital, and now SBF. Be skeptical of the loud, flashy voices out there. Trust what you can verify and hold your keys.